Good morning and welcome to Irish Pagan Raven with Liv Cross, Irish Witch, Irish Pagan, Reiki Master, Microfied Healing Therapist, and other healing therapies and things. So pop on today to do a quick chat about toxic positivity in the healing field. And why we're discussing this is because it's quite rampant in all healing therapies and fields. I think it also kind of filters through to a small area of the witch pagan path as well. There's slight crossover in some areas. So I'm going straight to the point today. The first main point of toxic positivity is there's been a huge trend the past few years of telling people that they have to forgive others to move on from their situation. I'm going to say this most politely. That is absolutely fucking bollocks. It is actually dangerous. That is toxic, absolutely toxic nonsense that can actually cause great harm, for first things, great upset, and it also enables people who do great harm to others to do more great harm. Okay, so there has been quite a trend of people saying you have to forgive others to grow, to move on, whatever. You don't. Under no circumstances do you have to ever forgive anyone who has ever done you great harm or caused you great upset. Ever. Okay? I know a lot of people who have been told to do this. I've seen the harm it's caused. I've seen the trauma it's actually caused instead of healing to stuff. It is quite dangerous. It is absolutely wrong when it comes to the mental health space of the person who's suffering or going through healing. It's quite dangerous in mental health space. You are actually telling them to forgive the person who's caused them harm. Think about it. You're blaming the victim. Inadvertently, you're doing this, okay? And you're also enabling the person who has caused the harm to do more harm. So if you're on the receiving end of harm or great upset, you do not have to forgive anybody for causing these things, for you to heal, for you to move on, or for you to grow. Okay? Never do you have to do these things. If you actually feel like you want to by yourself, by all means you can. No one's going to stop you. You can. But you do not have to. That's my straight to the point there, because it is quite dangerous. I have seen the upset and damage that's caused, and my claws have been out quite often over the last 4 or 5 years over this. They've been out quite a lot. If I'm too feisty for no good. But it's not my nature to stand back and watch people cause more harm to someone who's already been harmed. Okay, it's just no. And I think some falls back to the fact that I'm a witch and I'm pagan. I work with energy a lot, and we work a lot around balance and stuff. So when I see this stuff going on, I'm more aware of what's actually going on with some of these situations. I can see the bigger picture sometimes, okay? So, yeah, but I've also, as a healer, I've seen the harm and damage caused by people who are told by other therapists to forgive the person who's caused them harm. So, no, you don't ever have to forgive anybody who's caused you harm. Trust me, you will actually move on and you will heal probably faster. I'm not saying that in concrete, solid gold. I'm just, there is a chance you'll actually heal faster by not doing that, because it just, forgiving someone who's caused you harm is bringing you back into the situation. It is actually knocking your trauma to a point. It's enabling the person who's caused you harm to do more harm. And it's such toxic, positive healing bollocks. Sorry for the language, but it is. Okay, so that's my point. You do not have to forgive anybody who's caused you harm. That is nonsense. Second point is love and light. the Love and Light Brigade, um, within the healing field, and a lot of online weekend stuff. And I'm not this when I say Wiccan, I'm not making a slur on Wiccans, true Wiccans whatsoever. I absolutely know, I know people who are Wiccan. I have great respect for them. I should probably know a few actually. Great respect for them. I'm not going to say whether they're loving light or not. Not my place to say. It's not my path. But there's an aspect of online media where people are calling themselves Wiccan and they're not, and they're painting this picture of love and light and blessed be and love everybody who's done you every fucking great harm and forget about it. Love and light is not about sending love to the people who caused you harm. You don't have to send love to anybody who's caused you harm whatsoever. Ever do you have to do that, because you do not. You in a situation where something wild and you genuinely know that the other person did not mean to cause the harm. Fine, by all means, if you want to send them love and light, you can. I'm talking about in the aspect where great harm has been caused to the client and great trauma and all that kind of stuff. Then absolutely not. Did it not have to send love and light to anybody who's caused them that kind of trauma? No, absolutely no way. Again, it's going back to making their stuff not valid. It's going back to enabling the person, and you're literally kind of saying that, oh, just like they caused you harm, but that's okay. Just let them know what they're doing. They're just blah blah whatever. And no, you don't have to send them love and light to anybody. Okay, you just don't. Love and light is actually quite unbalanced as far as I'm concerned, and I come to this point from being a witch and work with energy all the time. Love and light is not balanced whatsoever, because we cannot be all love. Because if we're all love, then we're way off from our middle center. We're not grounded. We're not balanced whatsoever, because we have to have a bit of both, the good and the bad, to actually be able to walk in balance with ourselves and with the world, because the world's not love and light. The world's got bad things in it too. And we need to don't be okay with that, because something's always going to happen that's going to upset a lot of people in the world or cause harm, and we have to have to go with the bad for balance. Okay, so my third point is, I'm going to do this one quite quickly because I don't want to keep it too long. Balls of soft white light. Balls of soft white light will protect you from everything, the greatest harm in the world, and that is absolute nonsense, because they won't. When you're for shielding, or you're told to put a shield of white light around you by your therapist or whichever thing you're reading, or whoever's telling you, next not always be therapist. I have serious thoughts on this one. I'm not going to collaborate on all today. Balls of white light around your aura and energy field will protect you to a point on an energy level from energy things. They will not protect you from physical harm. Sorry, I correct myself. They might, some cases they might. But generally, if you're in a place where you're actually about to be harmed or in grave danger, please do not rely on a ball of white light to actually protect you from the situation completely, because chances are it's not going to happen, because these balls of white light work on energy level. Okay, they're not actually working in the physical world for most people. And I'm not talking about people who work on energy for years. I'm talking about people who don't work with energy. Because soft white light's not going to get you too far. It'll help in a normal thing, okay? But I've seen people being reliant on this kind of, I'm shielded and protected by white light stuff, and they'll go to somewhere where the energy is absolutely chaotic, full of harsh negative energy or entities, and within seconds their aura and their energy field is hammered, is trashed to the point they're absolutely drained afterwards, and they'll feel the effect a few weeks after. So, excuse me. Um, yeah, if you're in great harm or great danger, please do not rely on a ball of white light to absolutely save you from whatever, because they are bog standard basic stuff for basic energy protection, okay, which is fine for when you're walking to local news agents or around town, whatever. But when it comes to bigger stuff and bigger harm and stuff, it's not going to do much for you, okay? And the reason for that is these balls of white light come from the love and light aspect. And again, I'm not going to go into that one. So just do not rely on that. If you're going to a place where you know there's a lot of people, a lot of negative stuff, whatever, don't rely on just the ball of white light. You can use mirrors or do something else, okay? I don't use the stuff, but I'm not going to go into my own stuff, 'cause my stuff comes from different paths. It doesn't come from my healing work. But I've seen the harm caused by, I've got a ball of white light around me. So and so said it works brilliant. I'm going to be safe and protected, and I've clients, and I'm going to mention I have clients who will probably straight away when see this go off me. Their auras and all being seriously damaged. Their energy field has been damaged. It's crazy. So there is a lot of toxic positivity in healing. Okay, a lot, and a lot kind of entwined with the reasons not to do Reiki video I did as well. Um, because you got someone who's quite toxic working on you and who's doing Reiki for the wrong reasons or whatever, or they're bringing something to the table that's not good and healthy. And they'll be putting all the love and light onto you, verbally, whatever, but they're not putting love and light onto you. They'll be putting something else onto you. So it's quite a messy field, but it's quite a dangerous field. I've in the past year I've witnessed something that I thought I'd never actually see when it came to healing work, and I have to say I got very wicked. Got very wicked with the other person involved, and I was straight up honest, blunt and thing. I'm not going to mention the situation because there's obviously third party involved, and that's their privacy. But I probably witnessed some of the greatest harm that could be done to another person from a love and light brigade healer, and it was quite shocking. And it kind of falls along the lines of people thinking because they're preach love and light and practice love and light in their own way, that they're not doing any harm to anyone by not actually self-caring in another way. If that makes sense. I'm talking about like putting toxic stuff into your body and your system and whatever. That can lead to different situations. But yeah, I think when I saw the situation last year, that's kind of sealed my mission to start fighting the love and light brigade of the healing world, because not fighting against them, but just bringing awareness to the picture, because what I actually saw was great harm. And there was a totally innocent victim in it, and again goes back to being there's no regulations in the Reiki world whatsoever at the moment. There's a few, but not enough. So love and light can be quite dangerous, okay? So I just another point there was after out my head completely. I can't remember what it was. But yeah. So that's I can't remember the point. I'll come back to me another day. But love and light is not 100% love and light. It's quite dangerous because it is not balanced. If we're not balanced, we're not safe, we're not in the best place. We have to be balanced, and we have to accept the good and the bad with it. Okay, so yeah, that other point is gone completely out of my mind. Oh, I remembered the other one. So the other point is, and it's quite close to my heart, it's the last point I'm going to make, is love and light healers, people who preach love and light, blaming witches for the fuck ups of their work, basically. And I've seen this, I've seen it done when they actually don't even know anyone who's a witch. They don't know anything to do with witches. They know absolutely nothing to do with that world. But because they don't want to take responsibility of their actions behind their love and light projection, I've seen people blame witches. I've seen them blame other things and other beings for their actions, and it's not. I've had to deal with it. I've had to deal with cases of it. I've had people ring, blah, blah, whatever, and I'm just saying, what the fuck are you talking about? Because there's nothing to do with witches, and it's their actions that cause the problem and cause the harm, not anyone else. But it's an easy scapegoat to actually just pluck this word out that they only know from the past, from what they've read in books from the past. They probably have no concept of modern witchcraft in the world, of that whole area in the modern world. But I've seen that chucked out there quite a few times, that because the word witches was used in a bad way so many years ago, a long time ago, especially by the Catholic Church and etc., that when people who are not responsible for their actions in the healing field, they want to scapegoat, so they will think they're safely plucking a word out from the past, but they're actually not, because then they're actually blaming a whole way of life that is nothing to do with them, who has not caused any problem, and that is quite wrong. So yeah, that was my last point. That was, do not blame witches for your mistakes or your whatever, because you're hiding behind the love and light screen. Yeah. Shocking stuff. Absolutely shocking stuff to blame the witches. Yeah, so that was just something that actually I actually popped into my head in the conversation, that because as I've said from the start, I am a witch. I'm an Irish witch. I'm not love and light, but I'm balanced in my work. I can see the good and bad. I work on the balance point with my clients. Um, I think some of my clients actually find it security, the fact that I'm a witch. I just love the idea of it. But yeah, it's with love and light, toxic stuff. They do not take responsibility for their actions when they cause harm to other people or their clients. So if you do wrong, you do harm someone, be responsible for your own actions. Don't put it on anyone else. Don't blame other people for your stuff. We can all make mistakes. We're therapists, healers, whatever. We work energy, and we're not always going to be 100% accurate. But we're better off owning our stuff when we don't actually know the answers, or we make a little mistake in our answers. But again, it's the love and light projection of not taking responsibility for your actions. So yeah, don't blame other people. So that's all for now. I hope it's not too much of a ramble. I'm going to come back to this topic again because there's some very serious points in it that I need to actually, or I want to address over time. But this is just the basic stuff of it. So yeah, toxic positivity, it's quite rampant especially in Ireland. I'm not going to say the whole world. I'm going to speak of Ireland here because this is where I'm working. It's where I see it all. But I see it on social media as well. So yeah, so you don't have to forgive other people who've caused you great harm or upset. That was the main point to start. That's the main point I hope people take from this today. On their healing journeys, you do not have to forgive people who've caused you great harm or great upset or great hurt. Their trauma is valid, always and forever. So I'm going to leave with that, and I wish you all a good day. Hope you're all staying safe and well, and talk to you soon. Slán.